So I'll count it off.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3.
Just let's go.
1, 2, 3, go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the rehearsal room. Nick here.
Aaron's here.
We're gonna... Actually, I meant to do this before. Crack into a cold one. Sparkling water.
Only the finest.
The finest H2O. We're gonna do another of our world-famous top 10 lists.
We know you guys have been waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, bated breath on these. We do top 10 lists. We started doing this at the very start of our venture here into the podcasting world, where we do our top 10 genre directors.
Yeah.
First, we started with action. Then we went over to adventure. And because we're dummies, we're going to do this alphabetically. So the next one up would be comedy.
Yes, sir.
Now, did you have an easy time? We talked about this a little bit.
I mean, knowing we were going to do this, obviously from the beginning, I'd always been thinking about, because comedy probably was, I always figured was going to be my easiest one, and to some degree it was. There were about, the order was never set in stone, other than my number one, but definitely I would say 5 to 6 of them, I knew exactly who I was going to put on my list.
Okay,
but it did get a little tough, because one thing, as we talked about prior, is there are many of my favorite comedies all time as a movie.
Right.
But the guy who directed it never directed another comedy, or whatever he directed after that, as far as I was concerned, was shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I ran into that as well.
Yeah.
I think, and I suggested this at the top of our conversation before we press record, we should come back and then ultimately list our top 10 genre movies of everything we've done so far, because I think those lists will be drastically different.
Yes. In many ways, yes.
Yeah. So, I guess without further ado, top 10 comedy directors.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to?
I'm going to start off with a couple honorable mentions. If you have some, please.
I have no honorable mentions.
Okay.
On these.
I had 3 because it was just so tough. But again, just didn't meet my criteria to enter my top 10.
Okay.
And real quick.
Yeah.
Judd Apatow. I mean, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, This Is 40. I love those movies.
Yeah.
He was one of those ones who I thought was going to make my list, and then I found out he's actually produced more of my favorite comedies than actually directed them. So that was like, well, he's disqualified, pal. I don't know what to tell you. But I mean, also, 40-Year-Old Virgin is, I think, one of the great comedies of the last 10, 15 years. The other one I had to put on there as an honorable mention, Rob Reiner. I mean, Spinal Tap, Princess Bride, and When Harry Met Sally. 3 absolute bangers as far as I'm concerned. Now, he does a lot of different stuff. So he's got dramas. Again, Few Good Men is one of my all-time favorite movies. Not exactly a comedy of the murder of a Marine. Didn't make the list. But, I mean, stuff like, I'm sorry, Spinal Tap is one of the all-time great comedies.
Yeah.
So that would have made my list had he gone a little bit further into the comedy. And then some of the other comedies that he directed were actually not funny at all. And the one that hurt probably the most was Harold Ramis. I really wanted to have him on this list because it's 2 of my all-time favorites, Groundhog Day and National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah.
The third one that would probably make most people's list, it just doesn't make mine, I don't find it that funny, is Caddyshack.
Okay.
It never did anything for me. There are parts that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I mean, you give me Rodney Dangerfield, I'll watch it all day long.
Yeah.
But the movie just, maybe it's for its time, just doesn't do anything for me. So,
and before we continue, I do want to say that our selections are primarily how much of these movies are favorited by us.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Not
the impact, especially.
Yeah, like I don't care about historical impact.
Right.
I care about the personal impact primarily, because whatever time it was that you came upon these movies and you kept coming back to these movies, especially by these 10 directors that we're about to go into,
right?
That's what I think should make up these lists.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So I like your honorable mentions.
Yeah. These are repeated viewings, is the way I would say it.
Yeah.
It's like, these aren't just comedies I've seen once. These are ones that, and I think this is what separates comedy from our other genres in a lot of ways. I think you would agree. I can quote these movies till you want to vomit, because as many people will point out on the internet, these were the memes back in the day.
Right. These
It
were the
was
memes,
buddies like us getting together, quoting movie
Quoting
quotes at each
movies,
other.
yeah.
And it almost always comedies.
Yes,
You
yeah.
rarely quote, you rarely turned to each other and you said, you can't handle the truth. Just really didn't always hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas comedies, something would trigger, somebody would, and it will definitely be on my list. Somebody would say, surely you must be kidding. And you'd say, I'm not kidding. And don't call me Shirley. Like you had to say that, so these were the early memes. So impact, you're right. On me, especially my sense of humor, definitely impacted this list for me. The other one is the memories that they serve. My father turned me on to a lot of these, especially older comedies. So those things for sure, is influenced this list in a lot of ways. Because there are some directors that maybe didn't direct as many of my favorite comedies that are much higher than some who directed 6 or 7 of my favorite comedies.
Right.
But about the impact on me and how it shaped my sense of humor, I took that into account also.
Yeah. All right, cool. So
Yeah.
thanks for the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I know that's already probably controversial to somebody out there.
It may be,
But you're number 10.
Number 10, this one was a surprise. I did not think about it until I read the name and went, yes, absolutely. Edgar Wright. So we're talking Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, At World's End. Those 3 alone, I'm in. He's already made my list. I think those 3 are fantastic. And one that I don't know, again, because I don't know what is or is not popular necessarily, but I think underrated from him, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I absolutely love that fucking movie. I think it's so good. Different kind of comedy, but nonetheless very funny. That mix of, the kind of video game-ish kind of thing that goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Shaun of the Dead, I think, is just a classic beyond classic. Hot Fuzz, I love. At World's End, obviously, is the lesser of the 3, 9 times out of 10. You start going a little further, but I still love it. I think it's kind of underrated. But yeah, Edgar Wright, I just think, those comedies. Shaun of the Dead was like a revelation when it came out for me. Like
It was great.
It was
I love that
so
movie.
good
Yeah.
in so many ways. And I know British humor sometimes doesn't, but I feel like they're beyond the Monty Python style of humor where maybe not every American gets. Like, dude, everybody gets that.
But
It's
also,
so
there's
good.
so many references to American horror
Right.
and that. So
Right.
you get the references.
For sure.
And it's done in such a way where it's like, it's not necessarily, it is British humor.
No, I
but
know
it's not strictly British
No,
humor.
no,
right?
not at all. And good camera. Like, by the way, Shaun of the Dead, underrated on how it is shot.
Amazing.
Like it's just the side to side of the day before and the day after. That whole scene when he's walking out of the house and notices absolutely fucking nothing as he buys the soda and the ice cream and comes back to the house.
Yeah.
It's just, that whole scene is brilliant.
Yep.
So yeah, he was my number 10. How about you?
All right. My number 10, and again, I had to kind of look really hard at this.
I hear you.
My number 10 is Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Ooh, good. Okay, dude.
He did a movie called I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker,
Fucking classic.
which is a blaxploitation parody.
Yes,
And then he did Scary Movie 1 and 2.
that's right. That's right.
Which
They were very good.
fucking hilarious
Yes.
movies, all 3 of those
Yes.
movies. I think he's an underrated
Yeah.
comedy writer.
Yeah,
He did try his hand at stand up for a while.
Yes.
He wasn't that successful.
No.
Obviously, he comes from In Living Color and a bunch of other roles that he played, including the one in Don't Be a Menace.
Yes.
And
a writer for Eddie Murphy.
writer
He was
for
one
Eddie
of his
Murphy.
writers.
Yeah. So I've always loved his humor.
Yes.
It's not just underrated, but also very subtle, you
Yeah.
know, and it speaks to certain topics socially and stuff like this. So
But and silly sometimes too.
it's very silly. Very
Which
silly.
I love when you combine the two.
Yes.
I love when you can be socially conscious, sometimes serious, and then just do an absolute silly joke.
Yes, completely. Yeah. So Keenan
Great
Ivory
one.
Wayans, I
Great
love those two. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one I contemplated for sure. Because I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker is and not a movie, but in living color in a lot of ways. And maybe you're the same, maybe because we're the same age.
Yeah.
That was actually my Saturday Night Live before Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, it was in living color, and then when it came around, it was Mad TV.
Yeah.
So-
Those were the ones I was probably watching even before I knew what Saturday Night Live was.
I actually preferred those two. I honestly never really liked Saturday
I
Night
gotcha.
Live.
No.
I know the bigger skits just because they've been in
Sure.
in the popular culture and all that. But I've always loved everything but
Oh,
because
I hear you.
not because I'm trying to be contrarian.
No,
on
no, no, no,
purpose,
no. In Living
you know.
Color, I just think it hit at the right time for both of us.
Yeah,
if you really
yeah.
think about it, staying up at Saturday nights to watch it, we were either in bed or we were out
Or sneaking
But
around,
Sunday, yeah,
trying to watch TV, and not
that
get
too.
caught. Right?
Sunday night, we were probably home because we were about to go to school, and it came
Yeah.
on in prime time in Fox, and it was this hip show, and he
Totally,
was a
yeah.
major part of it.
Yeah.
Broke a lot of careers.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
no Jim
yeah,
Carrey
yeah.
without In Living Color.
No Jim
You know,
Carrey,
so-
none of the other Wayans brothers.
Absolutely.
No J Lo. You know.
Yes, yes. No, great one. I love that one. That underrated, to say the least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 9, Ivan Reitman. Talking
All right.
Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Stripes alone. I know we have a criteria, and I stick to it, but Stripes alone, he'd already be on this fucking list as far as
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
concerned.
yeah. For sure.
Twins,
Twins.
and kind of an underrated one. I think is fantastic. Dave. The
Dave
one where
is
the
great.
guy pretends to be the president of the
Yeah,
United
yeah.
States, Sigourney Weaver. For those who haven't seen it, it's kind of an underrated comedy. It's it's that typical kind of '90s feel-good movie. It's a romantic comedy a little bit. But
Yeah.
still very well done. Ivan Reitman is one of the pillars of Hollywood who put out a ton of great films that either produced or whatever. But these ones he directed, I mean, again, Stripes. I could quote fucking Stripes all day long. That was one my father introduced me to very early on. That's probably the first time I saw John Candy, who is one of my all-time favorites.
Amazing,
Bill
yeah.
Murray, Harold Ramis. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And that, again, Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Come on, man. Again, Ghostbusters landed at a perfect time in our world where we watch that thing ubiquitously. It's constantly on, and I love those movies.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. So that was my number 9, Ivan
9.
Reitman. Yeah, how about you?
My number 9 is Tommy Chong.
Okay, all right, damn.
I would be completely remiss if I didn't mention Up in Smoke,
Oh, fuck yes.
Still Smoking,
Dude.
and the Corsican
Dude,
Brothers.
yes.
If you are a person who grew up in Southern California,
Yes.
you knew who Cheech and Chong were, and you knew about Up in Smoke, and you knew that they had a bunch of other movies. They had 7 movies total, right?
Right.
Tommy Chong directed 3 of them. When he comes back for Still Smoking, that one was probably the less popular one.
It is, yeah.
Right, but it's still got a lot of funny lines in
absolutely.
there. But when he comes back for the Corsican Brothers,
Yeah.
which I think is one of the best movies, and plus it gave me a band name at the end when they're playing, and the band is called Los Guys.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I love.
No,
The fucking writing is perfect. It's seamless. It's stoner comedy,
yes.
obviously,
Yeah,
because
completely.
how could you not be?
Up in Smoke Alone.
Up in
I think
Smoke Alone, yeah.
You're already in the pantheon of great. Like, again, if we were just doing my favorite comedies, Up in Smoke would be on there.
It's one
for
of
sure.
them. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
like, talk about one my friends and I would sit around and watch over and over and over again. I mean, you can quote every fucking line. I mean, dude.
Yes.
Led Zeppelin. I mean, God
Yeah.
damn it, dude. I mean, how many times? I don't think we're driving, man. I think we're.
Oh yeah. I actually just posted that clip on Instagram.
It's just the movie. It's, again,
I don't know, man. What you give me? I don't know.
I mean, brilliantly funny and still silly. Again, those combos, you'll get me every time. Absolutely.
Yes,
Great
yeah.
one. Underrated guy. And Cheech and Chong, especially, you're right. As LA guys, it just feels like they've always been part of a culture. And I absolutely, yes. They don't get enough praise. They really don't. Great one. Yeah, I love that. All right, my number 8, John Landis.
Great one. Great one.
I mean, his first few just out of the gate. Kentucky Fried Movie, which for those who've never seen, is essentially the Zucker brothers and Jim Abrams who go on to do Airplane. They wrote it. They didn't get to direct it. Right. So it is like watching all these funny skits. It's not a movie. It's like watching Saturday Night Live skits one after the other, after the other, after the other.
Yes.
And it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Very rude. I think a lot of them probably wouldn't be okay in our today's standards.
Of course, yeah.
Understandably so.
Sure, yeah,
Then
yeah.
you get into the Blues Brothers, which I think is just a fucking gem.
Great movie. Yeah.
One that, again, I think borders, but I think anybody who's seen it knows it is funny. American Werewolf in London, which is just a fucking great
Okay.
movie in general.
All right, yeah,
but
yeah.
there are some funny,
Interesting
great
choice in including
Well,
that
and
part.
'cause there are some genuinely funny parts in that
Yes,
movie.
of course,
You
of
know.
course.
Then you're talking like Trading Places. That's
Places is
Eddie
funny as hell.
launches Eddie Murphy.
I love that movie.
It's
Yeah.
so good, and Dan Aykroyd is so underrated.
Yeah.
Spies Like Us, which I know wasn't probably a success, but in our world, again, HBO.
It's one of the
play-
best
Dude,
movies. Doctor?
I can watch
Doctor.
that all
Doctor.
day long.
Doctor.
Doctor. Exactly, dude. Again, quote it for days. There's no. I mean, Jesus, I love that movie, dude. Plus, I mean, Chevy Chase and Dan
Chevy Chase is
Aykroyd, just-
hilarious.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
His whole microphone thing, where he's, I was. I mean, God, I could do it all day long. I'd bore the hell out of people. And then the coup de grace, and I know it's one you and I definitely share. Three Amigos.
Three Amigos is a motherfucking
I
classic.
mean, dude, it's a mail plane. How can you tell? By the little balls. I fucking die. I mean, to me, you have these three comedic giants
Yes.
that are just playing off each other in ways I didn't even think was possible. And he directs the shit out of that movie. It's so well done. I imagine he probably just got out of the way and just pointed a camera.
Yeah,
and said,
he's just
"You
like, go
three
for it,
just do
guys."
your
Yeah.
thing." I mean, God damn it. If I hear "Are gringos falling from the sky,"
sky.
he hits the table and he just goes, "Yes, El Guapo."
Yes, I know. Yeah.
And let's be honest, every kid in the world learned a plethora from that movie because
Totally,
I'd
yes.
never heard that word. But John Landis in my pantheon, those movies, again, as you've heard, I have seen these movies a billion times, could quote them all fucking day long, man. So huge impact on me as a director, to say the least.
Nice. Yeah.
And yours?
My number 8 is Ivan Reitman.
Awesome. Yes. Again,
Ghostbusters 1
Dude.
and 2. I actually put him down for Kindergarten Cop.
great. No, it was. Again,
know-
I could have listed a bunch more. Another great one. Yes. Classic lines.
He has a bunch of movies under his name. But those three for me,
Oh yeah.
they define Ivan Reitman
Yeah.
kind of, you know.
Oh, great point. Yeah. Yeah.
I think particularly Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Oh,
Those two are flawless.
Bill
Even though the
Murray,
second one
Dan
wasn't.
Aykroyd and Harold Ramis.
Again,
like,
yeah,
we are
right.
done here, everybody.
And
you
then
know?
you include Bill Murray in there, and it's just like, oh, dude, this is not fair. You know?
Well, that's when, like, for me, that's probably the first real understanding who Bill Murray was and the charm of Bill Murray and why we all love him so much. His lines, the things he does.
Yeah, yeah.
When they're around the table and they're explaining it, and then you see all the prisoners are listening, and then he just turns around, "So be good, for goodness sake."
Yeah.
Whoa.
Somebody's coming.
I die every time, man. It's just so good, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, great. Yes. Ivan Reitman, R.I.P., by the way. And his
R.I.P.,
son,
yes.
fantastic director in his own right.
Yeah,
He has
yeah.
made some amazing films. But yeah, one of the greats, one of the all-time greats. And the stuff, whether, again, as you said, directing or producing.
Right.
He's put out
Yes.
some ones
Yeah.
that help, launch some careers, to say the least. I mean, he made Schwarzenegger funny.
So
Which
that's the thing
nobody
too.
would
Yeah.
have thought was going to happen.
Because he did Junior as well.
Yes, he did.
You
I
know,
mean,
and
that was-
I think that's a fucking funny ass.
Oh,
movie,
yeah, no,
you know?
it's underrated in the Kindergarten Cop and Twins, but
Yeah.
yes, I mean, nobody was taking a risk on a Schwarzenegger to be
Nobody.
funny. And he got Twins, and everybody went, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Arnold can be
yeah.
funny." You know?
Yep,
So
yep.
yeah, no, big, great one. Another, yeah. All right, my number 7. He's just an all-time. I don't think I've ever seen a movie. Christopher Guest.
Oh,
So,
great one.
SNL
Yeah.
guy, married to Jamie Lee Curtis, by the way. That alone could put him on a lot of my lists. He is essentially, along with Harry Shearer, and I cannot remember the other guy who played Lenny on Laverne and Shirley, and went on to do many, Michael McKean. They are essentially, along with Carl Reiner, the inventor of what we now know as the mockumentary.
Right.
They started with Spinal Tap. Carl Reiner directed that. And then he went on to make a bunch of them. Waiting for Guffman. You have Best in Show, which may be one of my all-time favorite comedies ever. A Mighty Wind, which is fucking amazing. And then For Your Consideration. The lesser. It's a little more subtle than the others, but I still absolutely love it. And, the beauty of this is even prior to, he gets a lot of credit for it and should, Larry David's show, where there's no real script. It's a premise.
Right.
We all know where we're going to go with our characters, and then just go, and everybody improv. And he does this so brilliantly in all of these movies, always working with a lot of the same people.
Yes.
Who can
yeah.
just
He
like,
has a stable of.
oh
yeah.
God, it's just I would recommend A Mighty Wind and Best in Show to anyone. I think they're two of the best comedies that have ever been made. And when you start to realize there's really no script, it's just an idea of where we want to go.
Right.
It's amazing to watch these people do what they do. It just and those were. Spinal Tap is so silly that you go, okay, that's just like a comedy. I've seen that before.
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
first time I watched Best in Show, it was like, what am I watching? I don't understand. Like, I'm laughing, but this isn't a documentary because these are all actors. What is going on here? And it's so brilliantly done. And he changed the way I saw comedy in a lot of ways,
right.
like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you could do with comedy. And it's just an all-time favorite of mine. Yeah,
Yeah.
Christopher Guest. I'd recommend.
That's a
any
good
of
one.
those.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
How about your number 7?
My number 7 is John Landis.
Dude,
which,
again.
no surprise
No.
that a bunch of these are overlapping.
Yeah.
We mentioned Three Amigos. Great fucking
Oh.
movie. If you have not seen it, or if you haven't seen it in a while,
How dare
do
you?
yourself a favor. Yeah.
First of all, never speak to us again.
yeah,
Second
exactly.
of all,
And then after you do, come back
Yes,
and then
then
listen
you're
to the
more
rest
than
of this. We mentioned Trading Places, but another favorite of mine of his is Coming to America.
oh, dude, yes,
Right.
dude,
So many fucking classic lines.
so
in
many.
that.
Oh,
A bunch of fucking great actors. You
Yes.
have Arsenio Hall in there with Eddie Murphy. You know, you have the Soul Glow commercial.
yes. McDonald's.
McDonald's, exactly,
We
right?
got no sesame seeds. in our
Louis
buns.
Anderson
Oh,
being the fucking
killing
the
it. Young Samuel L. Jackson.
young Samuel L. Jackson being the thief. Yeah, it's such a fucking and
It
then
really
the
is.
almighty James Earl Jones.
Yes,
right.
killing it in that.
Yeah, fucking great fucking movie. Sequel wasn't all that, but
No,
you know,
but it was nice to get the band back together.
It
But yes,
totally was,
I'm with
yeah,
you. Yes,
yeah.
no. But yeah, that's an absolute classic. Another one that I know you and I grew up watching
Hell yeah.
50 billion times.
A billion
I
times,
mean,
yeah.
good God, dude. Royal wipers? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Oh, your royal penis is clean, sire. I mean, it's just insane the stuff they come up with in there. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Landis is, and again, a very weird career for him. The Twilight Zone thing really kind of messed him up for a while. But yeah,
Yeah.
very that first part of his career. I mean, Animal House is one we did not list. It's not one of my favorites. It doesn't hold up well over time, that's for sure. But there are moments in it that are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
And you think like he essentially starts with Animal House and it just has this run that is just like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think he's one that will go down in history as one of the greats. Fantastic one. I am not surprised that it was on both of our lists either. I really am not. My number 6, Adam McKay. You're talking both Anchormans, Talladega Nights, Step Brothers. An underrated one, in my opinion, The Other Guys with Will Ferrell
I know you
and Marky Mark. I cannot stress enough. Listen, I am not a Marky Mark fan, though I do watch every one of his stupid action films because the action's always fun and he's a moron. But still, I'm telling you, this movie is completely underrated. All I know are people who haven't seen it, and those who've seen it love it. And I would also recommend trying to find the unrated version. There are deleted scenes that they put in there that just it's so good. It's such a funny movie, and I think the real breakout guy in it is God dang it, Michael Keaton, who plays plays their boss.
Yeah.
He just every time he comes in, he just bats 1,000. He just has all these great lines that they give him, and that's one of my absolute favorites from him. And a more recent one from him that again, not purely a comedy, but very funny parts, and I think was a fantastic movie. Don't Look Up. The one
That's
that
right.
came on Netflix. That was also him. Again, a guy who's also varied. He did Succession on HBO. He also did the Big Hurt or whatever, the one about the financial collapse.
Yeah.
He did that one too. So he varies. But his list of early comedies, especially his team with Will Ferrell,
Yep.
I mean,
They're really good.
Anchorman is an all-time classic, and Step Brothers, like. I could watch that.
That is a great movie.
Oh, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's insane. So, yeah, that was my number 6, Adam McKay. How about your number 6?
My number 6 is Harold Ramis.
Okay.
So I did grow up with Caddyshack.
Okay.
I grew up obviously with Vacation.
Yes.
What was the other movie that I put down? Sorry.
Well,
Groundhog Day was the other one.
Groundhog Day is, yes. Brilliant.
These movies, they just keep coming back in my repertoire of like what I considered funny.
I hear you.
And like I remember we watched Groundhog Day in junior high, and I was like, I've seen this movie 1,000 times already, So like whatever questions we were being asked about like the writing or whatever, I was like, all right, I know all of these questions because I love this movie already.
Amazing film.
Plus, he did the analyze these movies or whatever you want to, which some people don't all, like all that
The
much.
first one's funny, but it just, I like Billy Crystal a lot. I think he's very funny.
I love the mixture of including him in. I love those
yeah,
movies.
no, hey.
They were like comfort movies for a while
I feel
for
you,
me. You know?
dude. He was a tough one to put in my honorable mentions. He really was, because I thought he was going to make my list. I truly did.
Yeah.
And that one hurt because, again, Vacation and Groundhog Day. Those are two of my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Comedies. Vacation. Forget about it. I could quote that till you vomit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, and it's brilliant.
And I get it with Caddyshack. I do get it because
I've tried, and I love moments in it. Absolutely, the guy I can't think of his name now. From we knew him. He was a TV star from like Too Close for Comfort.
the
guy
dad.
with the white hair. You know what I mean?
Ted
Knight.
Ted
He's
Knight,
amazing in it.
Yeah,
He may
yeah.
even steal it. And then again, you put Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield,
Hey, nice hat. What does it come with, a bowl of soup? Yeah. Just like, and then looks, and Ted Knight has it on, and he's just like, oh, but it looks great on you. And then he rolls his eyes like, good God. I mean, I could watch it all day, but the story of the kid playing and all that's where it loses me, where I just go like, just give me the funny parts. Actually, I like, this is probably, I imagine people will be jumping out of windows, but I almost kind of like Caddyshack 2 more than I like Caddyshack 1.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I can't get through Caddyshack 2.
I understand.
I like the whole dude, it's all great. But I think I prefer one.
And I think most people do, and probably are correct to do so. I'm just saying for me, because Harold Ramis, again, legend in my world, and the movies he directed, I'm with you, dude. I think he should be on this list in some way, shape, or form. And again, it was a tough one to put on my honorable mentions. I'm glad you put them on your list, though.
Yeah,
because those are great films, every one of them. All right, what are we? Five, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is another one where I was like, man, he could go on a few lists, but John Hughes.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
all right.
Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
Yep.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and Uncle Buck. I mean, those are all-time classics to me. I've seen those movies a billion times. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is our Thanksgiving movie.
Yep.
We watch it every year with my family. You know, I number one, you're already working with John Candy, so you're already got me. I love John Candy. He's probably one of my all-time favorites. Uncle Buck, I think, is so fucking amazingly funny. And the beauty with John, as in all his movies, you find yourself laughing and laughing and laughing, but he'll also tug at your heartstrings, and you feel a little like, oh man. You know, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, that speech that Candy gives, after getting yelled at by Steve Martin. Like, you're
Yes, yeah.
dude, that is some Academy Award shit right there. You know?
One of my brothers just told me that he was rewatching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and I'm like, good. I know I haven't failed you as a brother.
Right? Dude, to see Steve Martin as the straight guy, where John Candy gets to be silly, is so amazing to me.
Dude, yes.
And just again, another one I could quote all fucking day long. We still, like I said, my family watches it every Thanksgiving, and we still fucking laugh every time we watch it.
Yeah,
It's it so holds up in every way. I mean, those aren't pillows. I mean, who the fuck doesn't know that? You know what I mean? That is such a great part, you know? So yeah, that was John Landis, my number 5. How about you?
My number 5 was Judd Apatow.
Okay.
I did put him down for a 40-year-old virgin.
Amazing.
Great
All-time
movie.
great.
I did like This Is 40.
I do too.
And Funny People.
Funny People was tough, but I like it, but not enough to make my list. But This Is 40, I think, is somewhat underrated.
I agree. I actually think Funny People is also a little bit underrated.
It is.
You know, it is kind of a slog, as you will. You know, if you
well,
will.
that's the trouble with a lot of his films.
Yes.
The criticism you hear more 9 times out of 10 is, if you'd have taken about 30 minutes out of this, it would have been way better.
That's exactly what Amy said.
Yeah.
She's like, Judd Apatow, but half the movies are not the first half.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
Where 40-Year-Old Virgin, there's not a moment I want out of it. In fact,
Non-stop.
I want the deleted scenes thrown in also.
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Judd Apatow was a tough one, but I was like, yeah, I do kind of come back to these 3 movies a lot.
No.
So,
Same.
You know, and they do crack me up. And we mentioned this before.
Please.
A lot of these directors also work as writers and producers for a bunch of other stuff.
Yes.
Judd Apatow is one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
He makes it difficult for himself to be a comedy director,
Yes.
per se, right? So
I mean, look, Pineapple Express, super bad.
Yeah.
You know, what's the? It's the one that comes after Knocked Up. I mean, all of those he produces.
yeah.
You know, he didn't direct them, but he produced Step Brothers. He produced
Step Brothers, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like so one way or another, Judd Apatow is attached to half the movies that are on our list, at least in the last 20 to 30 years.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I'm with you. Again, a man who definitely needs to be mentioned. Again, barely made my list, only because of the others that were on there. Like
get
that,
it. Yeah,
to
I
me,
get
it spoke to how strong, in my opinion, my list was, that I could take out a Harold Ramis or a Judd Apatow is how I felt. You know what I mean? But no, again, every one of those movies you named, I do enjoy. All right, number 4.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about people who have completely formed my sense of humor. The Farrelly Brothers. Peter and Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Dumb and Dumber,
Yep.
Kingpin,
Yep.
Something About Mary, me, Myself, and Irene, which I think is one of their underrated ones.
Yeah.
And Shallow Hal. I'm done. I've watched those
Dude.
a billion times.
You know-
Again, quotable. Forget about it. Dumb and Dumber. Are you fucking Kingpin? Are you
Yeah,
fucking kidding
yeah.
me? I woke up early and I milked the fucking cow. We don't have one, but we do have a bull.
Yeah.
God damn. I mean, and potty humor, like just disgusting,
Oh, yeah.
over the top, doing, I mean, the old
I-
lady,
you know
when the old
what?
lady does the, boy, you really knocked something loose. Good sex game. You have to think of shit. Like, what are we doing?
I kick myself for not including them.
They
on
were
mine.
tough. I will say, I had to look it up because you go, well, which one actually directs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the reality is with them, because we'll get to this in one of my other choices, they
know.
almost
I know who.
always direct
I know
everything together.
I know who you're talking about.
I'm sure you do, because I know these people are on your list, because I know how much we love these movies. So that made it a little easier, because I realized all those movies, they both were technically
They're
put
both on there.
as
Yeah.
directors.
Yeah.
So it made it very easy. And you talk about comedies that have formed my shape of humor and are ones that, as you pointed out with others, return to.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
return to these all the time. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
the
gonna
Farrelly
retcon
Brothers.
my list and add him as my honorable mention.
All right,
I'll add them.
No. Understand, dude. Again, amazing when you think about they were kind of the next revolution in these comedies that, like, Something About Mary, Dumb and Dumber. These were massive hits.
Oh, yeah, for
you
sure.
know,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
people were like, comedy is back, and
Yep,
it's
yep.
potty mouth, but it's also silly and funny and just I love them.
yeah. They're a great choice.
No, thank you. And that was my number 4. How about you?
My number 4 is Kevin Smith.
Okay, all right.
Kind
This
of a
is-
hard one for people.
No.
You know, I know, and I understand, but I love Clerks, the whole
Understand.
series of Clerks movies. Dogma, I think, is a funny movie,
Dogma's my favorite from him.
and because I partake in the ganja from time to time. I love the Jay and Silent Bob, movies that he's done.
I got you.
So I don't think I can make a list like this without including him. He is verbose. He is a little pretentious, and I understand that 100%.
I like him. I actually probably like him
Yeah.
more than most of his movies. To be
Okay,
honest with
I
you.
get that.
I
I
like
get that
him. I
100.
think he's a totally cool guy.
Honestly, I understand any criticism
but
of him,
Yeah.
but I do enjoy the movies.
No,
you know?
those movies had a huge impact on a lot of people. I totally understand.
Yeah, and and that is to say, like, my favorite movie of his, not just because my wife's name is Amy,
Right.
but Chasing Amy. It's got comedic parts in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's more of a serious movie than anything, So Kevin Smith did make it, and then that was a tough one because I was like, oh, how far up do I put him? But I do come back to Dogma a lot.
Yeah,
I come back
Dogma's-
to
I-
Jay and
that's-
Silent Bob Strike Back a lot,
I got you. No,
Yeah.
look, and even for you, obviously a big impact, but he had an impact.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Smith's Clerk had a giant impact. It was part of that whole indie revolution. It was like, oh, look, you don't have to fucking make a $60 million film to get
Yeah.
people to laugh and have a good time. And he changed comedy in a lot of ways and changed the way you could do
yeah.
it. And look, he's built a whole career out of this thing. And he's diversified. Like Red State, not
Red
funny
State,
at all,
yeah.
but very good. I very much like that one. He
Great
did-
role by John Goodman in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He did. Did he do Tusk?
Tusk, yeah.
And again, shows his own diversity.
What's the guy? Justin Long?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
That's a great movie.
No,
yeah.
like I said, I probably like Kevin Smith more than I like most of his movies.
Sure.
But yeah, you can't deny his impact for
Of course.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. No, that's a great one. And I'm actually, knowing you, not surprised that he's on your list that high. I'm a little surprised, but I'm not surprised he's on your list.
Just because I enjoy all his movies,
I understand.
except
Yeah.
for Yoga Hosers.
Sure.
But it's how frequent I keep coming back to these movies.
That's a great, and that's a great criteria because, especially with a comedy,
Yeah.
they can get stale. If
They
you,
can,
you know,
yeah.
and yet if you can keep going back to them and watching them over and over and over again, then that really says something about them. Absolutely.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
All right, my number 3, and then, it's pretty old for maybe most people, but It's Carl Reiner, Rob's father.
Yeah.
So Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks actually worked together. A little bit of history of comedy, if you will. They worked on one of the first super successful shows on TV called the Sid Caesar Hour.
Yeah,
which was a comedy sketch show where Sid Caesar was the star. Well, the writers' room in there is a who's who of everyone you've ever known that made comedies that have changed everything. To especially at that time, two of them being Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner. In the same writing room.
Yep.
And Carl Reiner, in and of himself, very funny. He goes on to do the Dick Van Dyke Show and stuff like that. Then he starts directing movies. One of his first ones that was a comedy called Oh God with what is his name? George Burns.
Burns, that's right.
Oh God,
That's right.
yeah, exactly. I had forgotten about that time. I was like, oh, shit.
Hair, Gracie.
But again, early comedy. He's bringing this. Oh God, very controversial at the time too. The idea that George Burns comes down to earth to help John Denver because he's God.
That's right.
Very. I didn't make my list, but just to give you kind of some history on him. But the ones that did make my list, he did essentially 3 pictures with Steve Martin that are some of the funniest movies I've ever fucking seen in my life. Yeah. Thank you to my father, may he rest in peace, for ever showing me these films because it may be some of the greatest thing he ever did. The movie The Jerk.
Jerk is great.
Good God. To this day, you will still laugh your balls off. My father, for years, would do the same joke every time the phone book was, the phone book is here, the phone book was here. Every time it showed up, For you younger kids, phone books were something that happened.
They were a thing.
Yeah.
You can Wikipedia that.
There you go. The second one he did was Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. That's right. And then he did the Man with Two Brains. Which I think is just amazing. I love that movie. So... Again, the combination of very good jokes with just pure silliness. Yeah. I mean, oh God. And then he does 2 of my favorites. I think one for sure I know we share. Summer Rental, again, John Candy. I love Summer Rental. It's one of my all-time favorites. Yeah. I had just found out through that John Candy documentary, which I cannot recommend enough. It's so fucking good. That's why Mel Brooks worked with John Candy. He called Carl and said, I'm thinking about putting John Candy in Spaceballs. Tell me about it. He's like, I love the man. He made it totally worth filming. In fact, there were days I showed up early just because I wanted to be around John Candy. Yeah. So thank you, Carl, for getting him in Spaceballs. And the other one that I know we both share is funny, Summer School.
I love
Summer School.
I love Summer School.
And that's one of his last ones that he really directs that is a pure good comedy. But those ones, talk about formative. I mean, between the 3 with Steve Martin that my father made sure I watched to understand what great comedy was, and then the other 2 that I just love, Summer Rental. And then Summer School was, I don't think there was a lot of parents showing their kids Summer School, but that was on HBO all the time. Yep. We watched it all the time. So thank you, Carl Reiner, for all that you gave me, How about your number 3?
My number 3 is Edgar Wright.
Okay, right on.
So it is because of the trilogy is called The Three Flavors Cornetto.
Right.
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End.
Yes.
I love all three of those.
All day.
All 3 of those movies are fucking great.
Absolutely.
He uses Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, to literally no ends because I think the chemistry between those 2 alone is fucking fantastic.
It really is.
Right.
And if you watch all 3 of those movies, they're completely different people in all 3 of those films.
Completely. Yes. Yeah. I love the way that, like, excuse me, people talk about British humor, and I get it. Not that I get it, 'cause sometimes I don't.
I gotcha.
But like for me, that's the stuff that's funny when it's not just confined to like, oh, this is mainly funny in Britain. Right. Like, this is kind of universal.
It's universally funny.
Right. So like, I love all 3 of those movies.
They're amazing.
If you haven't checked out, I honestly recommend Shaun of the Dead first.
It's so brilliantly good.
If you can sit past the horror stuff, and some of it is gory for people out there, it's a hilarious movie. It is touching as well. Yes. But it's such a hilarious fucking movie.
When the dad turns and freaks everybody out, and the first thing he reaches for is the radio to turn the fucking music off. Oh, God, that's so fucking brilliant.
I like when he screams in that. He holds his hands up like,
Oh, God, those movies are again, I some of these guys, it's like, I don't care where they are on my list. They got to just be on the list. And Edgar Wright, when that I had forgotten, but when I saw his name, I went, oh God, yes, he's definitely making my list for sure. You know, no, all three of those, you're absolutely correct. And he's done great. I love Baby Driver. I think it's a fantastic movie.
Baby
It's
Driver's
not necessarily a comedy.
Yeah,
It's very interesting to see what he's going to do with this Running Man. We'll see. You know,
I am very interested because I mean it's in good hands, but let's just see how those good hands handle it.
exactly.
right?
Yes, but a fantastic director who has directed 3 absolutely brilliant comedies. I could not agree with you more.
Yeah.
All right, and my number 2, and I know we share this one. So I'm kind of combining a little bit because it needs to be combined. The reality is these 3 people worked together on many of these films and even separately, but still, without the 3, you don't get the rest of it. And that's the Zucker brothers and Jim Abrams.
Okay.
So we're talking Airplane, Naked Gun, the Hot Shots movies,
Yep.
Top Secret,
Yep.
and I'm squeezing this one in there because technically only Mr. Zucker, one of the brothers, directed it, but Basketball with the South Park guys.
Yes. Yeah.
But I know we've known each other long enough. Airplane and Naked Gun, we could watch 50 billion times in a row and
billion
never stop
times.
laughing.
Yep.
And you and I can quote those movies to each other all day long.
Yeah.
And those to me were the movies that started in my world where you quoted to each other.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Like you just remembered every line. Like they were purposely giving you stuff to go back and quote to your friends.
of course.
You know? And they are still brilliant to this day.
Yep.
Again, some stuff that doesn't float the way it should. But their dream of essentially going, we're going to take serious actors and give them comedic shit, but they're going to play it seriously.
Yes. Yeah.
Fucking brilliant. It works every time. And I can never get enough of those Naked Gun. The Airplane first one. Technically, they did not do the second one, but I still recommend it. It's still very funny. But Airplane, the Naked Gun films, the Hot Shot films, I mean, and Top Secret, underrated. Val
Secret
Kilmer,
is really good.
at a very young age, I'd recommend Top Secret. It's very good.
His first movie.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, they did not direct, but Kentucky Fried Movie. So if you love their humor, go see Kentucky Fried Movie. Good old John Landis again.
Yeah.
But yeah, just again, formative years of my understanding what is funny and my father making sure I saw Airplane and I took it from here, Dad. I got it. No problem. I'll be watching Naked Gun. Don't you worry about a thing, you know? Yeah. So yeah, this was a name that I knew was going to be on my list. Absolutely. There was no way around it. So that was my number 2. How about yours?
My number 2, maybe a little controversial. Mel Brooks comes in.
Okay.
Obviously, Young Frankenstein,
Yes.
Blazing Saddles.
Yes.
Spaceballs,
Yes.
Robin Hood Men in
Yes.
Tights, and a whole slew of other things. You don't know comedy if you don't know Mel Brooks.
Couldn't agree with you more.
I think, he's one of the staples.
Yes.
He needs to be, I think, somewhere in anyone's top 10 of comedy directors.
If
because
you're
everyone's
laughing
been
at
touched.
anything right now, it is because of Mel Brooks.
Yes,
Any of
he's-
these new directors who are doing comedy,
Yep,
I
yep.
promise you will point back to a Mel Brooks film and say that's where it started.
Yeah, and he's such a kind of a forever person because just his presence alone, like it's felt right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and when he's not even directing completely,
Yes.
or he's like just acting in the movie.
Yes.
He still brings such a weight behind him.
Oh, absolutely.
And the fact that like these entire movies are thought up by this one person.
Yes.
And they're all fucking hilarious.
Yes.
So yeah, Mel Brooks is my number 2. I love him. I love Mel Brooks.
I love him so much, I put him at my number 1. So I knew this the moment we knew we were going to do comedy. I already knew Mel Brooks was going to be my number 1 because there's no doubt in my mind this man completely shaped everything that I've ever thought was funny everywhere after. And again, the same movies that you have, I have all, 2 that I think you left off that I would put in. History of the World.
History of the World's great.
I mean, I remember literally falling off a couch the first time I watched when they do the Last Supper, and he just says, "One amongst you has sinned against me," and him as the waiter goes, "Judas," and you see him grab his heart. I literally laughed and rolled off a couch. I laughed so hard. I never saw that coming. I had no, and to be so. It's a religious. My God, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Again, I could quote for days. I mean, Blazing Saddles. I love when he meets back up with his guys, and they said you was hung, and he says, and they were right. Shit like that. It's just, oh God.
It's quick because it's quick.
Essentially, he's taking from. Let's be honest. It's like old vaudevillian kind of shit. You know what I mean? A
Yeah,
lot of the
yeah.
jokes are set up, punchline. Da 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 da, ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. And I do get that. I think some of that doesn't always translate to a younger audience. Like my kids enjoy it, but I don't think they enjoy it in the same way. Right. Because their comedy's been so filtered through Mel Brooks and everybody
Yes.
else
Yeah, yeah.
that, you know what I mean? They expect something else. But
It's
again,
distilled Brooks.
It is. But I think you still have classics like A Blazing Saddles or History of the World or The Producers that
Young Frankenstein, you
Well,
know.
yeah, and again, and that's a great example of his direction more than his right, because Gene wrote that more of it. I mean, I'm sure he had a hand in it, but his directing in that is really fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's just, again, it can be so silly and so. I mean, there are moments in Young Frankenstein that are true to Frankenstein in every
Of
sense
course.
of the word.
Yeah, yeah.
There's not. You can go 2 or 3 minutes where there's no joke. They're doing the I'm trying to bring him back to life kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they hit you with these jokes that are just dying all day long, man.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, and it's a testament to him, like you said, you know, Gene Hackman is in I just recently learned this, you know, he's in Young Frankenstein. He begged him for a role in it. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
look, man,
yeah.
I just want to be in a comedy. Everybody keeps thinking I'm serious. I'll do it for free, and showed up and then did the whole priest thing that is fucking brilliant in that scene. And it's just, I mean, I don't care who you are. You might want to check for a pulse. If you see the scene with Frankenstein and the doctor dancing, and he just does the "Put you on the roots," and you don't laugh, I'm sorry. You and I cannot be friends.
Yeah.
It's just
You're dead inside. You're as dead as Frankenstein.
Yeah, you are. I don't know what to tell you.
Or
You know,
Frankenstein's monster.
Monster, yes. I Frankenstein. You know, I absolutely love Mel Brooks and everything he's ever given us, and I can never get enough of his movies. And like I said, when we discussed it, I already knew that was going to be my number one.
Yeah.
Everyone else was competing for second or below. So that's my number one. How about yours?
My number one, and again, you already mentioned one of these gentlemen.
Right on.
David Zucker.
Yeah.
I would be lying if I did not say that the 3 Naked Gun movies are not my absolute favorite. I could not live without these 3 movies. I was a fan of Police Squad, the TV show.
Yes.
So when I first saw the first Naked Gun, I nearly died because it was everything I loved from that series in a 1 hour and 30-minute form now. And it's all the best lines from the series, right? And I didn't care that someone will
they're
reuse.
repeated the whole, give me $20, I'll give you $20. Yeah,
Yeah,
they did
yeah,
that, and that's
you
fine.
know.
That's fine.
And then you have the Naked Gun sequel, which has Priscilla Presley. It has, I forget that guy's name, the singer guy.
I'm thinking of what I'm thinking of is the Will Ferrell impersonation of Robert Goulet.
Robert Goulet.
French, Drebin, do you speak it? No, but I do kiss that way. I think that's another great sign of these comedies, and I think you're the same. I have watched them so many times, I'm now finding other lines that are funny that aren't necessarily the funniest lines in it.
Right,
Like
right.
for Naked Gun, the line that probably hits me the hardest anymore is when he says, I know our problems don't amount to a hill of beans, but this is our hill.
Yeah, yeah.
And these are our beans. I just about die every time.
Yeah, yep.
And I just think it's to have the layers in a comedy in that way where you can watch it like Airplane was the first one for me, where you go, I can watch this 5 times in a row and pick up something I didn't see the first 4
first time.
times.
Right.
And I just think that's so brilliant, and it's never heavy-handed. There's stuff just happening in the background.
It's just happening. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and this is one of those movies where like literally every scene can be clipped. And it's a hilarious moment.
They're all gifts. Every one of them are gifts. And Nick, some stuff it's interesting too. Like in the moment, it mattered that it was Leave It to Beaver's mom speaking jive to the black guys. There's nobody under the age of 40 who knows who the fuck that woman is.
Right,
But the
exactly.
joke still lands.
Yeah.
It's still funny.
Yeah.
But when you understand who she was, it becomes even funnier.
The situation is good, but
Absolutely.
then the people behind the situation, it's like, oh, I get it. Yeah.
And I think that's another, again, and for those who don't know, Airplane is literally almost a shot-for-shot remake of a serious film
Of a
called
serious
Airport
movie, exactly.
57 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you watch them side to side, which I believe somebody put on YouTube, you will see, like, it's almost a direct. Now, obviously, there are comedy parts in it that are not, but it's so brilliantly done. And again, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is in it.
Abdul.
You know, all these actors were completely serious people. They did not do comedy. Some got it, others did not. From what I understand, Leslie Nielsen got
Leslie
it
Nielsen, I
right
was
off the
about to
top.
say.
He totally understood what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Or Peter Graves, the pilot who does the Billy, have you ever been in a men's locker room? Like, he did not get it at first and was really like, I don't know about these fucking lines, guys.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but yeah, they're brilliant. Every one of those movies
Yeah.
is
I
pure
love it.
comedy.
Yeah.
And I think it's not that there isn't a story, but they don't give it. This is about comedy.
This
We
is
want to
making
make
you
you
laugh.
laugh the
Yeah.
whole fucking time.
And that's not to say the story is secondary.
No,
because it is there.
It is there.
But you're gonna get to the end,
Yes.
laughing.
Oh.
Right. That's the whole purpose. Like, we're here to laugh.
Yes.
Right? So yeah, David Zucker was our first.
Amazing.
Again, tough fucking list.
For
Super
sure.
tough,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because-
I will say your list compared to mine, no wrong answers as far as I'm concerned.
None at all.
Everyone that was
Yeah.
on your list, I absolutely love those ones.
Likewise,
could have made
yeah,
mine. So yeah.
I'm honestly, I'm kicking myself for missing the Farrelly brothers because I'm just like, man, goddamn, how could I? Because there's so many of them.
No, you're
Right?
not wrong. Again, one of the things that kind of helped was thinking of what are my favorite comedies.
Yeah.
And then looking up to see who the director was.
That's
because
it.
unfortunately there were ones, as we were talking prior to recording, you know, Tommy Boy is one of my all-time favorites.
right.
You know, Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, yeah.
Penelope Spears.
Yeah.
She's great, but she doesn't do a ton of comedies.
Right,
You know what I mean? And Wayne's World is one of my all-time favorite
I mean,
movies.
unless you want to count the decline of the Western civilization, 1, 2, and 3
Watching
comedy.
Chris from whatever that thing, drank himself to death
Yeah,
in the pool.
drinking. Yeah, in the pool. Yeah.
But yeah, no, and I just think like that's where it made it tougher. So it was just like I started to think of what are some of my favorite comedies, and let's hope to God this person directed more than one. You know?
Yeah, and I will say, I not that I purposely did this, but I did leave out some Mexican directors.
Mm-hmm.
I know the names, would go over a lot of people's heads.
Sure.
But there are characters that I kind of grew up with,
Understandable.
and
Yeah.
some of the movies. It's weird. There are trilogies, quadrilogies of the same character in these
Okay.
movies.
Okay.
Like literally each movie is directed by a different person.
Interesting. Okay.
So if we were talking about comedic actors, that's a whole other conversation. right?
No. Yes.
And I would include those
I hear
Mexican
you.
folks in there. But yeah. So that's our list. I think we did a great job. Let's congratulate ourselves on that one.
That was me patting myself on the back.
I broke my wrist patting myself on the back. Yeah. So what have you been listening to?
Actually, quite a bit. More listening than watching. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. But a lot of Les Mord lately, as we're getting out of the Halloween season. I still have just kept him going because I'm a huge fan of his. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. They're an LA band, Lagrimas.
Lágrimas.
Okay. A Life of Destruction album. Wow, really, really good.
Yeah.
What is described as melodic crust, which I was like, wow, that doesn't sound like peanut butter and chocolate, but okay, let's see. Boy, was I wrong. Yes, heavy, good, crusty. There's grit in there, but their melodies. Wow, do they treat them so well, and it's just beautiful. Be like beautiful melodies attached to these, crusty, heavy, and
Yeah.
a local band out here in LA. I was
Yeah.
very, very cool to see that. Really been getting into that album more and more, listen to that more.
I love that whole genre. It's very emotive.
Yes.
It's almost some songs feel panicky,
Yeah.
But it's obviously it comes from kind of a political place
Yes.
as well.
Yes, they
which
do,
I
for
love.
sure.
I
Yeah.
love all that stuff. All that mixed in with certain elements of even black metal type stuff.
Yeah.
Right. It's great.
Yeah,
I
no, I-
love neo crust / melodic crust.
And a lot of that stuff is kind of, some stuff hits, other stuff doesn't. This guy's just really hit. And the thing that stuck out the most was how well they. A lot of times, I think when you're younger, you want to be just like heavier and ugly.
Yeah.
And not really focus too much on melody. And it
right.
feels like these guys really know how to balance it
Yeah, yeah.
really well, man. And good on them, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
a
really
great
was,
band. I love that
I was really digging on them. I a lot of the things I listened to were I like watching Amoeba Records does the What's in Your Bag.
Yeah.
And depending on the person. If it's somebody that I'm not interested in, I don't really give a shit what's in their bag, and I wish they didn't have a bag. But, I was watching a couple. I watched one on Steve Earle, the country singer guy, and, I mentioned Waylon, and as you know, I love Waylon Jennings, and the two he mentioned are two of my favorites from him, so I went down, I listened to both of them. Dream in My Dreams and Honky Tonk Heroes are just fucking great Waylon albums in every sense of the word. So I definitely went down that. Mad Villain, again, another YouTube video where I watched the guy kind of break down some of the way that Madlib constructs his beats for that album in particular.
Yeah.
This is Madlib with Doom and Mad Villain. It's just it's an amazing record in every sense of the word, and I never tire of it. One that I'm gonna say something might be a little controversial, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
right.
I was listening to Electric Wizard, Witch Cult Today.
All right. It's a great one. I
Here-
like it.
and I love it. And here's my statement. It might be as good, maybe better than Dope Throne.
Wow. All right.
I feel like it's darker, a little more focused in some ways than, or at least for a bunch of stoners.
Sure.
And just like, I love Witch Cult Today. I really, really, I love Electric Wizard in general. And Dope Throne is a fucking, it's a Mount Rushmore album. But I don't know, man. I was listening to it and I was like, it might be better than Dope Throne. I don't know. I might have been living in the moment. Just saying. Just putting it out there.
You know what? I'm gonna go back and listen to both of those. I think back to back. And
Right
see
on.
how they hit me.
Right on.
And,
Right on.
Yeah.
I
I have not listened to The Wizard in a while. So
I love Electric Wizard in general. I don't.
yeah,
The only, We Live is probably their only album. I kind of. I always felt like that was a transitional record, but I think they just kill it every time. I love that
they're
band.
great.
Let's see, what else was I listening to? One that we shared, and I'm probably going to mispronounce. Malefic Throne? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Malefic
Okay,
Throne.
Malefic Throne. Dude, came across it. Turns out you had already kind of heard of it, but we both have listened to it. So you're talking a member of Angel Corpse, a member of Origin, and a member of Morbid Angel.
Yep.
I think Steven Tucker on bass, the guitarist from Angel Corpse, and it's the drummer from Origin. They put out a little EP, and they got a new album that's coming out, I believe, at the end of November. Dude,
That's great.
it's really
fucking
good.
great. Yeah.
This is some fucking. It's almost like every element of those bands, and yet they form their own thing, which is always difficult when you bring in, other people coming in. I thought they killed it. I thought.
Yeah,
It was,
I like that. This is one of those kind of super groups that does it well.
yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
A lot of times, super groups kind of rely on their reputation.
Or is just trying to fit too much of them into instead of just forming a new thing.
They don't.
know?
Yeah, exactly. They kind of like shoehorn in what each person is bringing from their
Right.
respective bands.
Right.
And I kind of get the feeling that in most examples, they try to outshine each other. Like, this is the part of my band that's better than your part of your
No,
band.
I especially when they're coming from different sounds.
Yes,
yes. Some work, some don't. I mean, that might be a fun topic just to go down one time. Is like
I think
some of the best super groups of all
supergroups, yeah.
time.
All right. Top 10 supergroups.
Put a check mark on that one.
You love our list.
Yeah, I really love that one. Two new ones that I found. I didn't particularly. They probably will never get another spin, but I was really glad I listened to them. Again, this is one. The first one, a band called the Avalanches. I don't know if you've ever heard, from Australia. So again, a guy that I found on YouTube that likes to break down. He's a DJ himself. He makes samples. He makes beats.
Yeah.
So he likes to break down this shit. Well, this is a band out of Australia that did an entire album. And by the way, the album is called Since I Left You. There's no live instrumentation on it. It's all samples. Much in the way like DJ Shadow's album and a couple other people. But they're not necessarily hip hop. And some are dancey songs, but they're kind of feel like rock songs.
Nice.
But the thing that was very interesting is one of those ones where the album is really good, don't get me wrong, but the story is almost better.
Yeah.
So they were this band that apparently, if I may, real quickly, essentially they were, as they said, every time they played live, they came up with a brand new name, and they figured whatever name got assigned, that will be our name. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Also a different time, maybe Australian humor's a little different. One of the band names was called Oops Down Syndrome. So, yeah. So Avalanche is what they did. Up until that point, they were playing pretty much live instrumentation, and they were like a noise band. They were, kind of amphetamine record kind of style.
Oh,
It's guitar, it's there's keyboard, but it's noise. It's angular, it's angry.
Sure.
So the record label signs them and essentially is like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put you in the studio, and they went, no, that's not what we want. Here's the album we have in mind. So here's what we want you to do. Buy us Pro Tools, a sampler, and a drum machine, And me and the other guy are going to sit in our respective homes and just come up with shit all day long. And then we'll exchange it back and forth.
That's cool.
Because it'll be cheaper than you putting us in a studio for 2 weeks and we don't know what we want to do. And it's not going to be the same.
Right.
So for 18 months, they work on this. Exchanging these things back and forth, and then get in the studio with an engineer who now has to kind of shuffle these
Piece
around
it
to
all
make
together.
it
Yeah.
kind of to make it more cohesive as an album. As at least that's what they say in the little 18-minute documentary I watched on YouTube. And the other little thing they did was they almost purposely made sure, not to say there aren't ones that you might recognize. They didn't have a lot of money, so they went to bargain bin records places, bargain bins, and just got whatever. Instructional videos, comedy records from Canada, all these things, and found it's really an interesting listen. I would recommend it to anyone.
Okay.
Like I said,
The
even
Avalanches?
just one time. Well, the Avalanches, Since I Left You on Spotify, you can find it anywhere. It seems to be one of those ones, I guess, if you're in the sampling world or the DJ world, everybody knows about it. But if you're outside of it, never heard of it. You know, they had 3 albums. I don't think they're together anymore. But it's one of those albums, I guess, in that community that really kind of, the way like Paul's Boutique or DJ Shadow's album, where it kind of raised the bar on what you could do with sampling and how you could make a record of that sort of thing. Yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's just really cool. And again, maybe the story's a little better than the album itself, but just interesting to have the wherewithal to tell a label, no, we don't want to go to a studio. Just buy us these things, 2 of each, so that we can both work on them together, but apart.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, oh, yeah, interesting. So another one I found, I think you know, but Yaboa is, she's female, also from Australia. I would say around the, a little bit of a less noisier Pharmacon, but also I would say, I always mess up her name, and I do not mean to do that, but I'm so bad with it. The Laguna.
Lingua Ignora.
Thank you very much. What Nick said. I remember when her album came out, got a lot of hype. People were very stoked for it, very emotional, very intense.
Yeah.
Anyone who likes that, I could not recommend this album more. And quite frankly, I think it's better. Called The Origin of My Depression. It's on It's on Flenser Records. You can get it from them, but also on Spotify. It's on their Bandcamp, so on and so forth. I mean, when you're done, like, wow, you're drained. She pours every bit of emotion into this thing. It's a very, I would very cathartic for some, I imagine it would be, but also very intense for a lot of people. Like, and just one of those ones where it's nothing against her. I'm not saying she didn't deserve hype for that record. I'm just simply saying, like, if you like that, there are others that are doing the same.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
And I would definitely recommend that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I really,
Uboa, what's her name?
Uboa, Uboa.
Okay.
So Uboa.
All right.
In my world, it'd be Uboa, and I'm probably completely wrong, but yeah. Another one I recently found, a band called Company Flow, Fun Crusher. Fun Crusher Plus, actually. Fun Crusher was the EP, Fun Crusher Plus. The one that most people would probably know from it is LP, who's in Run the Jewels.
Oh,
with Killer Mike.
Yeah.
So LP with Mr. Len and Big Juss. Essentially, they're all producers / rappers, and they got together for this, I think, just one album. But I'd seen it on some lists of underrated, ones that nobody talks enough about. And I thought, okay, I like LP. I even like Run the Jewels. What the hell? I'll check it out. Really digging it. Very dusty shit, very chill, like cool shit. All 3 of them, very good rhymers. They're very good at their way. But yeah, I recommend it. A really, really cool little record. And the last one I got, I actually did get it, the new Sun record.
Oh, yeah. So good.
It is.
Yeah, it is so good.
It took me a bit because the last 2 were so bright. Pyroclast and the other, they just felt brighter. There felt like there was some melody. There's a light in there. You know what I mean? This one's much more direct and dark, like
I think
harsher.
The last couple ones were a little bit more accessible.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's another great word. Where this one is like, I wouldn't say it's the first album, you know what I mean, Grim Robes,
right?
But it definitely could fall in around the Dom Kirk and
sure.
White 1, White 2 era, where it's a little harsher. It's a little, you know what I mean. It's not as
disjointed.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like as put together as the later stuff.
Yeah, where it seems this feels almost a live feel to it.
Yeah,
where you're not sure where they're gonna go and the structure isn't always there. But I very much enjoyed it. You and I are both huge Sun fans.
Big time,
So yeah, it was very cool to see this, and 3 songs, great. I really enjoyed it. But yeah.
that new one is super good. Yeah.
But I like I said, I always enjoy what they do for the most part. I also, for those who care, they just put out about 35 live albums out. They're all digital only.
Yeah,
including a couple of shows we went to. Yeah,
yeah. Actually, they have a Bandcamp that's dedicated to their live
yeah.
shows.
It should
And
be.
it's
Good God, there's so many that they put up.
chock full
Yeah.
of stuff. So if you're into Sun, if you're into drone or just random, random, right? Yeah, check out this. I think it's called sunlive.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, they're a great band, and I know they get somewhat of a bad, or I wouldn't say bad reputation, but I know most people
They get shit on.
that's fine. Listen, I'm not. I don't think this music is for everyone. I totally get that part, but I will say they are far more diverse than I think they get credit for.
100%. Yes.
I don't think
agree.
it's clearly what everyone thinks it is.
Yeah.
I think if you really start to dive into them, one I can't remember if I listed it or not for our Halloween episode, but Sun's Black one.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
talking about a Halloween record, baby.
yeah.
Woo! Cry for the Wheat Reaper alone with Rest on it. That'll scare the shit out of everybody. So yeah, great band. Love them. Love the new album. The only other one I'm looking forward to getting is the Primitive Man one. I have been putting it off. I do not want to hear it till the record arrives at my house, which unfortunately looks like it'll be sometime next week, which is a little, but whatever. Hey, I'm excited to hear it because I'm hearing nothing but good things, and unsurprisingly so. I'm not surprised. But I just feel like I paid for the record. I'll wait for the record. As hard as it is to do, to say the least. So what have you been listening to?
Bunch of stuff. So I went through some entire catalogs of people. I just finished up the John, forget his name, John Fahey.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Christmas in general, but he
Okay.
has some Christmas albums which
Oh.
are still kind of weird sounding.
Okay.
And I think I chalk it up to his guitar playing.
I did. After you mentioned him, I did look him up, and one of the things that it did say is his guitar playing apparently very different and influential.
It's not like traditional
Yes,
bluegrass.
right.
To me, it's still very unnerving.
Okay.
Because when you listen to some of the melodies and
Mm-hmm.
stuff that he's doing, your mind, especially if you're familiar with bluegrass,
Sure.
it's gonna go to whatever the next logical place would be
I hear you.
for that genre, right?
Right.
But then when he plays certain things, it's like, well, what do you do? This is like scary fucking country music almost.
Is there any album in particular you would recommend?
There is one called Blind, something about Old Blind. I forget.
Because I'm writing it down because I want to check this out.
Old Blind. I almost said Old Blind Nick, but that's me.
That's your rap name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And then I think his first release is self-titled.
Okay. I'll start there.
Yeah, dude. In fact, if you start at the beginning with him, and then look up the old whatever the blind, because and then here, let me clear another. thing
If I looked for the same one that you're talking about, I noticed he's got a pretty extensive discography. I mean, he's
Huge.
got a lot.
It is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely.
like literally, his music took up most of my past.
Oh, okay.
3 weeks.
Right on.
Just because. I know I mentioned a while back that my father-in-law passed away.
Yes.
This is one of the characters that I wish I knew about when Hank was still around.
I got you.
Because I feel like, I know you're not the biggest bluegrass guy, but you like weird stuff.
It's funny that you mentioned that because when I looked him up, I thought for a heartbeat, I don't know why I got a sense, a little bit of a John Prine.
Yes.
So I was like, what is Nick's connection to this? And then when I started reading a little bit about him and seeing some of the album covers, I was like, oh, I bet you he probably fell on this from from Prine.
Well,
To some degree.
oddly enough, I was looking up like people who exist in music and have kind of conspiracies behind their legacy.
Oh, okay.
And I think I mentioned it when I mentioned the Fahey, whatever. He wrote a book called Bluegrass Ruined My Life.
Yes.
So
you
in
did
that
mention.
book,
Okay.
I had no idea who this guy was.
Sure.
No, he was not on any of my radars.
Right.
And I'm thinking like, man, he's got such a long storied career.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around a lot of people. And I mean, not that I have to know everybody, but I was really surprised I hadn't come across his music previously.
I as we discussed with Prine, that's how I always felt when he passed. Was like, how did I never come across this guy?
Yeah. So like, then the fact that like the part of the conspiratorial stuff or the kind of the unknown stuff is his spiritual beliefs,
oh, interesting.
right?
Okay.
And I was like, okay, you believe in something kind of weird, but then people keep referencing his music and that it's unnerving and some of it's chilling.
Interesting.
And to that point, he has Christmas albums, which again, I'm fucking whatever with Christmas.
I gotcha.
But when I listen to a bunch of those Christmas albums, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of still weird. And I
Interesting.
love when people do weird shit with their music.
Oh, sure. Yes.
For me, it shows like you're obviously a creative type.
Yes.
But if you can get weird with it, I'm gonna like you.
I love hearing the word weird attached to music. Yes.
Yeah, right. So like when I first started with his first album, I was hooked, and
Okay.
I told myself, you can't get off of this dude yet. as weird as that sounds, you can't
Boy,
get
if I
off.
had a quarter for every time I heard Nick say that to me.
You can't get off of this guy yet until you finish most, if not all, of
Interesting.
his,
oh wow.
yeah,
Wow.
and it's a lot of
yeah,
music.
yeah.
right?
No, I saw. So that well, it really must have hooked you.
It did. It really did. And you know that's also to say that a lot of the songs aren't long. Some of them are
Okay.
minute,
Okay.
couple minutes.
Okay.
So they go by really quick. And honestly, I put it on background music. But then when like a weird song came on, I went back and played it again, and I was like, wow, this is that weird that it made me stop everything I was doing, come back and press press replay on this.
All right, I definitely want to.
Yeah, it was really good, and that actually took up most of my 3 previous weeks.
You know what it kind of reminds me of too is, have you ever heard? I believe he's German. Jandik. You ever heard?
Oh yes, yeah.
Right,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I saw this on a weird, or what is like weird. Well, then I just recently saw it was 10 of the greatest music documentaries you should watch. Somebody did one about him that I guess got kind of controversial because there may be some bullshit behind what the Jandik guy does. He didn't explain it all the way. Yeah, but I was like, but I remember going like, because I'll give anything a try. And I remember you can't find him on Spotify, but you can find him on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if I'm being honest, it sounds like a guy who can't play the guitar trying to play the guitar.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And kind of is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, there's something hypnotic and weird about it that keeps me wanting to listen to it.
That's what people kind of put on John Fahey.
Okay.
Where like it's so not traditional
I
bluegrass.
gotcha. Yeah.
And so a lot of it is. Like
Yeah,
you listen
no.
to it and I'm like, oh, I know this type of
gotcha.
stuff,
I
right?
gotcha.
But then when you listen to the stuff that kind of stands out, it's like, and you kept that in there.
Interesting.
Like you kept that in there. That's a weird decision that you made. Yeah. So John Fahey was I loved it, and I really wish that I could have had a chance to talk about him with Hank. I'm glad I'm sharing it with you.
No,
and
please,
whoever
thank you.
else
Yeah,
checks
yeah,
this
yeah.
out. My whole adventure into his discography was great. I
That's
loved
awesome,
it. I loved
dude.
it. Yeah.
I love when you can go like, as I said on our last episode, and it was going for a 3. That was me with and you know it's about the Trail of Dead. It was just like I couldn't get enough of them. I just kept listening to everything. I love when it's always fun that when you do that. And the only time I think it gets better is like I mentioned with some of the ones when you rediscover an album that you love, and then you listen to it again, and you just go like, "Good God!" Isn't that the beauty of music? Sometimes, like it happened to me. One I forgot to mention, I hadn't listened to it in a long time. Was "Blonde on Blonde" from Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
and it was just like the moment it started, I was like, "Why am I not listening to this more?" Like, good God, man! And it's just like I love when music does that to me. When it's just I've been separated from a certain thing, and then you just like, and then again, you're just like, okay, I got to keep digging. What else?
That's also I think to kind of like
Please
go sideways a bit. I think that's the beauty of like movies, especially like the ones we've been
Absolutely,
talking about, and
yes.
music. Anything that's done for fun or for entertainment, you can come back to it whenever you want.
Yes.
Whenever, and even if it doesn't hit you the way it hit the people when it originally came out, you're gonna find something that hooks you.
Well, good art endures. It doesn't,
Always.
I don't have to understand what music sounded like before an Elvis or a Beatles and still enjoy it.
Exactly.
It'd be nice to go like, but like Lemmy's famous story of, there was no rock and roll and then suddenly there was rock and roll.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I'm with you. A good art endures. And yes, it's just like, it's so cool when it can still, the idea, and I've said this before and we've talked, that Mozart and Beethoven, still people are blown away by them, and they've been dead for longer than they were around.
Yeah,
And
totally,
it's just
yeah.
like the music still can move you, and it just and good art in general can do that.
Yeah,
And that's,
yeah.
I'm with you, brother.
Yeah, so John Fahey's awesome.
All right.
For anybody who wants to just check out kind of weirdy bluegrass type stuff, I honestly recommend.
Okay.
I really wish I remember the whatever.
Well, if you
the
come across them, please let me know, and then believe me, I'm gonna check these out, and hopefully, I hope they hit me the same way you do, because I'll be on the next episode talking about them. Because that sounds. I mean, everything you're describing. One thing that you and I always talk about when it comes to bands is ingredients. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
yeah.
you're describing ingredients that I'm like, this sounds
Yep.
fucking delicious.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I definitely want to check it out. I want to take a bite. So
So-
that's really cool.
On that whole kind of weird trip,
Mm-hmm.
I listened to the discography of I think he's local to LA.
Okay.
But the project is called Babyland, and I know I've mentioned them before.
Okay.
Kind of electronic, weird synth pop kind of weirdness.
Right on. Right on.
It's very.
Is this where Baby Metal lives? They live in Babyland.
They came out of Babyland. Yeah. I was actually introduced to it. I for a while I was hanging out with a bunch of queer folk here in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually introduced me to the music of Babyland.
Right on.
I believe it's a singular person's project.
Okay.
I apologize that I don't have albums like to listen
No,
because
no.
I listened to like 3 different ones.
I got you.
And it was to prep me for for Halloween.
Okay.
But it's really weird. It's just some of it sounds really happy.
Okay.
Some of it sounds really emotional, but also happy.
Very
so
cool.
it's
Lyrics or just mainly music?
it's got lyrics.
Okay.
He like
So
the
he's
the
singing
person
over-
singing.
okay,
Yeah, they're
very
singing
cool.
over it. But it's
Anyone you would kind of reference? Is there anybody that you can? Okay. No, I just.
Babyland is like when I first got introduced
Mm-hmm.
to it, I didn't have access to like the names of the albums.
I got, no.
were
I
all-
just mean like are references to like other artists that you can kind of.
Oh, geez.
Is there anybody, or is it there's just to get an idea, a better idea? But-
I would say maybe this is gonna sound totally blasphemic, but a weirder David Bowie.
oh wow! Ooh, that's high praise.
Yeah, not like Warren Zevon or anything like that
I gotcha.
either, but just really artsy.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
way more steeped in. I would say way more steeped in like the queer lifestyle. Even
Okay.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
so
yeah,
like
yeah.
not that you necessarily have to understand that or be in it.
I got you.
But
that's
I just think
that's the experience being
That's the
put forth
experience
on the
that- yeah.
records.
And so
Right
like
on.
I always connected because of the people that I was
Sure,
around
sure.
at the time, you know. So Babyland is really good.
Okay.
I think it's not that I listen to it because it's weird for Halloween, but because I was listening to the weird John Fahey, I figured let me follow this up with some more weirdness,
Gotcha.
right?
Hell yeah! I took the weird train, and I am
Yeah, and I
headed
just
to
kept
the
on
end.
going,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
So then I had to temper that with I think a lot of people know this name, Julie Cruz.
Yeah.
She's got the 2 albums, I think Drift and Float, I think are the name of it.
Okay.
They're both on Sacred Bones Records, and people know her from her work with David Lynch in his movies. She was famously paired up with Angelo Badalamenti. I just think her singing is super ethereal.
Right on.
Under any other like musical guise, she would be in that entire shoegaze dream pop,
Okay.
which I think she is already.
Yeah,
You know, but like if you find her albums, especially the one with Floating, what a beautiful voice.
right on.
Absolutely beautiful voice. And, you know, she's no longer with us. So R.I.P. in peace. But yeah, Julie Cruz. And then I went kind of heavier.
Right on.
Escarnium, which is one that I recently sent you.
Ah, yes. Good stuff. Solid.
It
Yeah.
is Brazilian death metal.
Okay, I did not did not get deep into it to find out Brazilian. No, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brazilian death metal,
Okay.
which when I first heard it, I was like, well, this sounds kind of black metal-y.
Yeah.
But it's they
it's
call
death metal,
themselves
but
death
it's
metal.
yeah. There's a hint
It
of
is,
it.
you know, according to their self-release description, it is very nihilistic, and I agree.
Yes.
It is pummeling.
Yes.
It is brutal as fuck.
Yeah. There's not a lot of smiles going on. That's for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. You're got your arms crossed and just nodding along
Yes.
at that show.
No.
They have a new album called Inexorable Entropy.
Yes.
Inexorable Entropy.
It took me many tries to figure that one out.
English is not my first
I had to
language.
have Google read it to me if I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah, right. So I went back and listened to a couple of their older ones.
Oh,
They're-
okay. They have others. Okay.
Yeah,
I
they're,
wasn't
they're
sure.
kind of
Okay.
old. So they started around 2008.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so they
okay.
have
oh,
a
shit.
handful of albums,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought there was something brand new. I saw you
They
sent it to me. And
sound brand new.
yeah. It
right?
just it feels very like current.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
totally, yeah. Very modern sounding, but according to them,
Mm-hmm.
it started off as a 5-piece, which
Oh wow.
the sound is already gigantic.
Yeah.
Now it's a 4-piece.
Interesting.
And I mean,
And then all 5 of those are instruments along with a. Just I'm just
would
wondering.
think
'cause-
so.
Okay. all
I
right,
think
all
so.
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Especially
goddamn.
in kind of death metal, you don't normally, unless you're Nile or something. You know what I mean? It's like-
Exactly, right. Or like Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
absolutely.
have
Yeah,
5
yeah.
people up there, right?
Wow, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I really Escarnium, the latest album is
Yeah,
so good.
I'd be lying if I said it's one of my new favorites, but it is a solid fucking album.
I
thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah,
It was a great listen. That was really like wow. I mean, that cover is wicked. Fuck, man, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's gnarly. It's. I mean, you look at it, you definitely aren't like, this is like shoegaze. Like what you're like. Oh yeah, this tells me exactly what I'm gonna
yeah,
hear. No problem,
yeah.
man.
And plus, Brazilians know their metal, so
But,
I
no,
mean,
yeah, no,
yeah, never gonna deny that.
no.
The next one I listened to was a project named Ackley's,
Okay.
kind of really dissonant sounding black metal.
Ooh.
It's a one person project.
Ooh.
The album I listened to is called Melina.
Okay. Alfred Molina? Well, no. He was great in Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was great, Dr. Octopus. But yeah, Melina.
Molina. Okay, I'm writing this down.
And I think it's Mulena.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Oh, no,
Anybody?
no, no.
Because
And the name again?
Ackley's Achlys.
L-Y-S. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes. As I write their name down, I am, because that's, God knows, you can add it to the giant list of, I don't know how to read that. I just know what those letters are. So yeah. I think I know exactly who you're talking about. Not that I've heard
Yeah.
them, but that name. Now, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so he has an album called what is it? I think it's like the name of a planet.
Uranus. That would have been mine.
Well, my favorite planet.
How about Pluto? Give him some credit, God damn it.
I know, right? I'm not even gonna try it, but
All
it's
right.
called like the Black Something.
Okay.
And
okay.
I think it's the name of a planet. But that album is fucking great.
Right on.
And but again, Molina, it sounds dissonant, really angry, really hateful,
Okay.
angry sounding guitars, and it's not like the fancy kind of like tremolo picking. It's
Okay.
just a lot of wall of noise type
Okay.
stuff.
All right.
But it, whatever it was set out to do, it does it 100%.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
so
I add that to my list.
Ackley's is really good. What were the other two I had? Lamp of Murmur which Kevin actually mentioned last time.
Yeah.
They have a new single out.
Mm.
I don't even know the name of the single, so I apologize.
All right.
But that new single, really good. It's
Okay.
really great production.
One of those ones I've tried. It doesn't do anything. I get it. You know what I mean? And I know they're very popular. People. Again,
Yeah.
you're being one of them. People whose taste I very much respect. I love the thing. I don't know. I've tried a few times. I'm also, black metal feels like it's phased out for me. I'm kind of going other directions.
Sure.
So that may be some of it too. But no, I mean, a legit band that a lot of people point at as one of the great ones that are, especially in recent years. Yeah.
I think what they do, I think people kind of add the vampiric black metal tag to them sometimes.
I think
I
so.
don't get that. And I'm not gonna pretend that I do. I'm not gonna be
I hear you.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, back in my day it was black metal.
Yeah.
No, I'm whatever they
Well,
want.
everybody wants to kind of differentiate theirs from the others. You know
Sure,
what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
You know, whether it was depressive suicidal black metal
Yeah.
or Cascadian black metal.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
I get it. Yeah.
This is just really good. I love the
Right on.
production on all these last three that I mentioned. The production, which I love when bands take time and make it sound really fucking good.
I hear you.
Great production on all. these
Right on.
last- I mean, there's great production on all the ones we've mentioned.
Well, sure. Yeah. No.
But, like,
well, with black
I-
metal, that's a big thing.
yeah, exactly, right?
That needs to be mentioned with black metal. Nobody's going like, gee, I wonder if the new Radiohead will have a good production. Like, we all know that.
exactly. Yeah. Lamp of Murmur, and I think that might be it.
Okay. So
Really
far, so
quick.
good.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was really, kind of all over the place as far as
I-
listening. But I think the spooky season.
I
we
love
just
those.
came
I
out of
love
it.
those times when I look back and go like, "Good God, I was everywhere." You know, I
Yeah,
try,
yeah,
and
me
I
too.
try to. You know, a lot of my listening is at work. I try to. I don't want to just, as you know, when people, like I mean, we've both experienced it where people are like, "Oh, I didn't know you like that stuff." It's like,
Yeah.
well, I can't bang my head all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I like a lot of different shit. You know.
Yeah,
So I like to keep it variety, but it is nice
Variety.
to look at it and go like, "Wow, man, I was really all over the place this week."
I especially love when I come out of like certain periods of time and I'm like, Jesus, man, what the fuck was I doing there?
I hear you. I hear you.
Where
Like, how
was
many
I
times
going?
could I listen to that? Jeez.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Like, geez, again, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are those times where, like, my number one, I almost hesitate to say the name because it's going to make me want to go listen. It's Drive Like Jehu. Every time I see the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
name, I go,
No,
well,
dude.
fuck it. Now I got to go listen to
Dude,
Drive Like Jehu.
Jehu.
It just- that's just-
Propaganda for me.
Okay.
I love Propaganda. There's a lot of those types of bands that when I as soon as I hear the name, I'm gonna go home and listen to
Yeah, no,
my albums.
they've been my latest one. It's just like I said, I'm flipping through YouTube and some guys
Yeah.
like, I'm discovering Drive Like Jehu. I'm like, motherfucker. Well, I guess Yank Crime's going in the car. It's just like, here we go. Which I'm not mad about. It's just to say, like there is a part of me that goes, you got about 800 CDs you could pick from there. And they're like,
yeah.
I know. It's called Yank Crime. Fuck off.
Well, whenever Cursed comes up,
No.
I have to listen to one.
Well, I was just
Listen
listening to number 3 this week.
Oh, I was about to say one, which leads me into 2.
Yeah.
And then to 3.
Yeah.
And then I go on to the next one. you know?
Curse is
Yeah.
fucking great. Every
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
those albums, yeah. No, we've given them their praise, and we should continue to. Yes,
Yeah.
great.
We've
band.
we've opened up flower shops just
Yeah.
to keep
No,
them
they're-
celebrated. Yeah.
It's so good, and a genre that normally I am not a part of, but it's like you find those gems, and I just think they transcend. It doesn't matter the genre; it's just it's such a good record all the way through.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a shame they're gone. Really, to be honest with you.
There was actually one of the last ones was
please.
Ink and Dagger. That's the last one.
They are on my list. They're not on Spotify. They are on YouTube. And I definitely want to check them out because you are giving them high praise. I know Danny is another one that you said you were
Yeah.
talking to is giving them high praise. I want to check them out because they're another one that I read about that I was like, yum, yum. This all sounds delicious.
Yeah,
So,
Ink and Dagger. Especially
any
when
particular
you-
album?
I'm again. I
Oh,
hate
no,
being.
no, that's okay.
I
I
hate
just-
being
No,
all of them.
no.
But they do so much
So,
stuff in their
I mean, if you say
career.
all of them, I just start at the top then. I just
Yeah,
start with
just
the
start
first-
at the top.
Okay, no
and
problem.
honestly,
no problem.
with anything that I recommend, unless it's the most recent thing that they
I
put
got you.
out,
I got you.
I will say start at the top.
Okay,
Because you'll know what they come from, and then you'll know where they end up.
And for the most part, I like to try to do that. And again, this may be an episode that we can go through like how we discover music and how we we go through it. I like to start because especially some as we both have discussed here recently, we like bands that get weird. We like bands that change.
Yeah,
So I mean, so it's like sometimes you might grab the wrong one where it's like, oh no.
Right.
Like, no, don't grab Cold Lake. You're not gonna like Celtic Frost if you
Right,
grab
right,
it,
right.
Or you may like it and then be very disappointed in the rest of the catalog. So, that's where I always kind of struggle with. That's why I prefer, a fan saying like, try this out, especially in a band that may, again, if there's somebody that like Cursed, you can pick up 1 through 3.
Yeah.
It's not to say that they're exactly the same, but like if you like any of those 3, you'll like all of them.
You're gonna like it all.
You're
Right.
good.
Yes.
But that's the only reason I ask. But no, I appreciate it. I will. They're still on my list. I definitely want to check them out.
Especially because I think you told me that they were reissuing out all their music recently,
Yes, just
right?
recently. It was one of those things where you put it into the ether. You mentioned it on a podcast, and like 2 weeks later, I saw a thing that said all their albums are being reissued. So,
Music to my ears.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my wallet's gonna probably start crying, but
Hey.
I love it.
I mean, if my wallet doesn't get a say, unfortunately, my credit card company is very happy with me. Believe me, I don't know how many colleges and braces I've already put on people's kids. Believe me. But I hear you.
Yeah,
That's
Ink and
cool.
Dagger's a
Speaking
good
of,
one.
and if I may, speaking of reissue, I'm glad you said that. For those who care, those who know, kind of exciting for those of us. Danzig's First Four. Reissued on actual
on
vinyl.
vinyl, yeah,
About
yeah.
fucking time. I personally only got the 4th one because it was the only one I didn't have. I have a bootleg 3. I have a good friend. His name is Nick. He's sitting across from me, who got me 1 and 2 a long time ago as birthday presents because he's an awesome dude. So I did think about, well, maybe I should. Fuck, I just got 4
I think I'm gonna get only 4 as well, just
because it's the only one I didn't have.
That's one that I always wanted on vinyl. I had 1 and 3.
Yeah.
2. At one point, I picked up 2 back in the day
I hear
before the great chaos moment of my life. 4 was one of those cool albums that, like, when it came out, I was like, wow, you're going weird on yourself. Now,
yeah.
right. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna pick up 4. But yeah, which is kind of weird that we had theories about these
Yeah,
albums for the longest
I mean,
time,
how many
but-
discussions you, myself, and all of our other Danzig friends have discussed, like have they never been released?
Which
on-
I think is going to be at one point an upcoming episode where we start breaking into the life and legacy of this man,
absolutely, especially his
known as
albums, for
Glenn Robinette Danzig. So
sure. And alone.
hands alone.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I did receive that in the mail a couple weeks ago too.
Oh,
And that
nice.
was another,
Hell
yeah, very cool. And just, as a big fan, it's nice to look at the record collection. I have them all on CD, obviously, but to now have them all on record and just
record,
kind of like, for whatever it is, it is. You know what
So
I
yeah,
mean?
so look for it.
Yeah,
I'm glad that it's out there now. And
The prices are not outrageous. The packaging, at least on the 4, I will say, I would have done more, but then again, I don't have the budget, so I
Yeah.
don't have to really worry
When
about
we-
it.
when
I
we
just think of
win-
some of the artwork that's in the CD version
Could have been
that
in the-
could have been in there. I would have been nice, you know what I mean? But these are nitpicks. I'm glad they're finally on record. It's about fucking time. Should have been done years ago. So
That's going to be our side podcast, the rehearsal room nitpicks.
that might take over. But yeah, just wanted to mention that for anybody who doesn't already know. Check them out. They're good quality, if nothing else. The pictures look fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
The artwork looks amazing. They're all gate folds. It looks really, really good. They're quality shit.
Nice.
So
So pick
Anyway.
that up if you're a Danzig fan, and we'll catch you all later.
Right on.
Howdy, folks. Thank you so much for spending time with us here at the Rehearsal Room. If you've got any recommendations you'd like for us to check out, whether it's a band, a movie, or anything else you think we'd be interested in, you can write to us at therehearsalroompod@gmail.com, all one word. We're also over on Instagram or Facebook, or even YouTube. You can also find us on any of the popular platforms for podcasts. And if you happen to know anybody that would be interested in any of the subjects we're talking about, please make sure to refer this show over to them. Make sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to us, and we'll catch you soon.